this is a horror game. It's not intended for all audiences. So the website, there's definitely a lot going on here. But there's your blacktabbygames.com if you need a specific list of specific content warnings. There's flickering image effects, parallax effect on rare occasions, cause motion sickness. I might be leaving them on to start with. I'm not sure how. Might. But here's the most important part. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. There's not really much I can say about this, can I, at this point? If you clicked on this title, you know what this is. I think I'll turn that off just in case. We'll see it by the flickering gets. But I'll turn that off for now. If you're here, you know what this is. You know what we have to do. We have to slay the princess. Don't listen to her. Don't trust her. We're here to kill her and save the world. And that's about that. This is, of course, the Pristine cut, released for free last year, I believe, and includes three completely new routes. Expands several existing routes, fully fleshes out several routes. Yeah. There's not really much I can say about it, so I will not. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Alright. We have a whole lot of reactions we can... Tons of moods here.
I'm talking about
Collaboration.
the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Pro-philosophy. Using our pro-philosopher experience. Present backing evidence, please.
You're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Nonsense. Which me? Oh. Okay, I'm sold. We can leave. Alright. Don't tell me why she's dangerous.
Not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out. Which she will, unless you do something about it.
Alright. What happens if she gets out then?
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Okay, you're trying to sell me on an Antichrist kind of narrative. Let's see, what else can we explore here? This is a direct opposition to this narrative. Maybe I'm okay with the world ending.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
We've all felt a little nihilism every once in a while. We're getting hard back out. We can ask for a reward.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Killing princess seems kind of bad, doesn't it?
Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Oof. That's also a bit harsh. What's my prize?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Okay. Seems like explore doesn't actually advance the
While
plot.
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
So that's the red text of the situation here.
It's
Okay.
no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
It's about to flood the world with chickens. But, like, there is a metaphorical self-fulfilling prophecy here where we ascribe danger to the princess, so we lock the princess up. Keep the princess locked up. Because if she gets out, she will end the world. But the fact that we locked the princess up in the first place has set us down this path where she'll inevitably get out and destroy the world. But the fact that we locked up the princess to begin with doomed the world in this never-ending Ouroboros cycle of princess equals danger. Lock up the princess. Princess being locked up is dangerous because if she gets out, she ends the world. We locked her up to begin with. What would the world have looked like if we had never locked up the princess to begin with?
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
I want to read my employment contract. Well, alright, let's see. Middle of the road, maybe. Can someone else do this?
If only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Fair enough.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Forget
I'm
it.
serious. No, you have to do it.
Okay, fine, we'll go to the cabin.
As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
Reluctantly accepting.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Voice of the hero.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed. The first of our internal voices, perhaps?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
So we get a choice here. We can go without the blade. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Convenient that the weapon is just waiting for us.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
You say that. Just that 2 words. That... There is a certain malice in those 2 words.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Funny you should mention that. This is a good question. This is a very good question. I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the 2 of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Maintain our heroic energy. Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
I mean, the blade was just sitting there waiting for us anyway, so can we really trust it? Let's be real here.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Right? What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific
Oh, the honorific should do, really?
Note the
Okay.
lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Nice to meet you, Your Royal Highness, Your Majesty. How long have we been down here?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
People out there think you're going to end the world. Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
Lie. No. I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Alright. If people out there think you're going to end the world, what do you have to say about that?
Just tell her that.
Whoops.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Can deflect. They say it's your words. People will listen to you and you will drag the world down into destruction like some sort of, like a full-fledged Antichrist style. I mean, let's deflect.
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
It's about trust, huh?
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Yeah.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Hush, hush, we're talking here.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Well, I can do that. We're going to... We've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Well... This is a very distinct... This is going to be terrible for me, Captain Indecisive Choice, Branching Path, Anxiety Man. Ay. Stay.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Oh, she's ready to throw hands.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
I can't really be mad. Girl looks terrified there.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat, with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity.
And a bit of smug in that grin.
You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, the tower, eh?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You have a terrible sense of deja vu.
Sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Hey, don't tell me what I do and don't
If he
have.
doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
New voice.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Yeah, it's more than just deja vu, though. Pretty sure this literally just happened.
Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Alright. Assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did actually happen. Why should I listen to you?
Those are two
Why should I do
very
anything?
different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really
Ooh. It's the second time you met me, or at least the first of me.
died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
Oh, so we have been here before.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants.
Wait, how
All
exactly?
the same in the end.
Did you take the knife off of us? And undo her chains? I suppose that's possible. In which case, ironically, to continue the old Ouroboros of locking up the princess, creating a scenario where the princess getting out ends the world, sending us to kill the princess, created the scenario where the princess escapes and ends the world.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Chin up, lad. Let's talk about this princess.
Quick about it.
Who locked her in the basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
killed me last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen
Like I
again?
said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
All she did last time was beat me to death. How can someone like that end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is
Do
true,
you now?
and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
I mean, there's certainly a world where I would. But, let's, keep our wits about us here a minute.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
True.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
People locked her away. Why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
You think you're special?
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
Well, I mean, alright. You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better.
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
We could just straight up and leave. Or we'll go.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him, and not that whiner.
Which means hero after dying once is ready to kill.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
No. I mean, fair.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Soul Cabin is different than last time.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous...
Oh. Certainly haven't been killed by the princess, alright. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Ah. Alright.
You take
no
the
mirror.
blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Alright, let's do this. Why do we feel so small? It's curious.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Ooh. Alrighty
You
then.
weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Oh no, our new voice is going to immediately pledge
Should we
loyalty.
be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
He's going to immediately pledge
Doesn't
loyalty.
matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Alright, down we go.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
So we're a small fry in a room and staircase built for giants.
The princess
Oh.
towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure
Ma'am.
framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Am I here to
got
kill
that
you?
knife again, even though you know it's useless.
Again.
Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Take my
As
grip.
if on command, the
Ooh.
blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Okay, very good.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Are we sure Broken's not making the decisions here?
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna kneel anyways, but...
Oh, are you still trying to defy me?
Oh, okay.
I said kneel.
Oh,
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
yes, ma'am. Okay, very good.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
Oh no. We have created the Ouroboros cycle here.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Okay.
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
Yeah, clearly the first thing we need to do is believe in the possibility of doing so.
The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Yeah. I'm yours to command.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
I mean,
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it
Oh?
doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
oh?
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
Oh dear.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Oh.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
What if I don't believe? What happens then?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart. It's easy.
Ooh.
And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever.
I want to be safe and free forever.
Please don't do this.
I have to. It's over. I'm sorry.
This is how it was always going to be. And it is good. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
If. Break the chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
It's time for us to leave. What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Alright. But you do not take her hand. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her
She's
place.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Oh, the mirror. I wonder where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
The narrator is
Yes.
gone.
Does that mean the world ended? Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Is there a reason why the narrator made the mirror?
I don't want to look at us.
Is there a reason why the narrator made the mirror? Willed the mirror out of existence when we saw it earlier.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silent as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. It's you. That's the arm we saw. alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. Oh,
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
what are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Solitary lights. What do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
I'm a person.
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
We. The gift of a fragile vessel.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for an overwhelming heart.
Oh.
Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on here. Let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
A vessel and us, the entity making these decisions. Entity, I suppose, with full control of this vessel after the narrator got sucked out. Wait, did you send me to slay the princess?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
You know what the world's beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
A lot of circles already here. Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Oh, okay. How many more pieces do we have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Very clear. Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
You did say you were a nation conscience that recently started life, so that makes sense. How much will I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
What if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished. Dry. Hollow.
We can wait. We're sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. I help you. Is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I'm not going back.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
We can wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
And the game closed. We're going to load right back.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Ah. Interesting. While we're waiting, let's, not immediately give in. What would you have me do? What do you have
All
planned?
you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
You're so powerful, can't you just break the chains yourself?
Be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
Right?
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
He trails
I
off
can,
there.
Easily. But that isn't what I want to do.
Okay.
The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world.
She is in this for dominance. Of
And
us,
from
specifically.
your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn.
Well, if being a bottom can help reshape the world into something better, then hell yeah, step on me.
Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Which is why we came into this, I presume. Less that she's become giant, it's that we've become tiny. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
What happened to you after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
Uh-oh.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Is that her putting those two things on the same level, or? Ooh. Okay, very good. I'm not gonna help you end the world. I don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do that.
I see.
Are you gonna get stomped?
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
I mean, I know you're in favor of needing the blade to do a kill, but you also said don't trust her and don't listen to her. Oh, boy. Okay, we are being, Oh. That's clever. The choices are there, but we are being forced to pick up the
You
blade.
reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Bruv.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Don't it's stuck in your mind that it's precisely, I hate you so much, all of you. Yeah, the other voices in us are just gonna be like, yeah, this is reasonable, we'll do it. Small things first, we're gonna do it anyway, so might as well listen to her when she tells us to do it. But we are realizing somewhere in you that this doesn't feel right.
You
Stan.
feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
Quiet Shadow is a unexpectedly kind perspective here. It could be worse. It could be worse than Quiet Shadow.
Take that knife in your hand and
Oh.
slit your throat.
What?
Well, you guys walked into this.
Don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
I did love that. What? Oh no. Narrator, you should have clarified.
We'll end this all right.
You should have clarified, narrator.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Thank you, narrator, but you're a bit too late on the, Ooh. We can't resist. But... Slay.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson.
Oh, you gonna step on me again?
Plunge that knife into your lungs.
Okay, yep, that's harsh lesson.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out,
Oof.
the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Okay.
Those are
All right.
just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it.
Oh,
Your other
okay.
hand
All right.
locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you.
Oh,
Despite
Jesus.
the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Sight.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
Okay.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this.
Did he have any say?
At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Alright. Slay.
Yes.
Oh.
Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The
Oh,
wind of your
foot.
freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
Ooh.
She
Oh,
falls
ow.
to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees.
It's a hefty cut.
You don't give her any
Ooh.
time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason. It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
My boy.
Shut up.
Oh.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You
heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Very interesting that the reverb faded from her voice there at first.
Before
Oh.
you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
That's panic in her eyes.
There's
We
an
got to-
unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
Just interesting because she did it the first time.
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this. The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor.
God, okay.
Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never going to get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ooh. The fury.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Yeah. Oh no.
I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Ooh, hello, new voice. Stubborn.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was, and ever will be.
This world feels
Can't say
concerning.
I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us, and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. All right, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening.
I am.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her, and it's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Alright. Feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really got a say in things. What a crock of shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
Yeah, broken.
It didn't work. It doesn't count. We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened. It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think you have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
Feels like... I wouldn't call it a premature ending, but it is certainly an ending. We submit to her in Chapter 2. This continues. This is continuing. There's a Chapter 3.
Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
Oh. Be at the point of return you mentioned, then what happens?
Then what happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens.
Alright, what does that mean?
But is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there, if there even is a there. It doesn't matter because we're going to win. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
Feels like we pick up a new voice. Although this is a very first impression, feels like we pick up a new voice based on how our previous encounter ended. We got crushed into oblivion by the princess after approaching her, and we picked up the broken. We struggled against the overwhelming will of the giant princess, and picked up the stubborn because we refused to die. I'm done with this,
Are you
bye.
serious? Fine, you walk away from the cabin and see how that goes for you.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me?
Everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
We're dead, obviously.
I told you we shouldn't have come here. I told you. But did you listen? No.
What around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by textured nothingness. It is quiet. The distant rumbling, sound of many sounds, undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. Oh! Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance, fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. This is a nightmare. Wake up. It's not. Ah, ooh, hello. And what happens next? It seems like our answers are at the cabin. Might as well see this through.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
Let's go.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high-arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
Yep, that is definitely meat.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It's that mirror again. This time it's blocking the... Take the blade.
You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
We didn't mention the mirror last time either. Why?
Mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal and the door to the basement. Just to tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, but if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same. No more messing around. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly?
He thinks we've lost it, that we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you.
Right.
It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
Realistically, it went away. But the narrator said we touched the wall.
You step
Towards the door of the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange.
It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we're seeing there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
I'm in on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Wipe it clean.
Reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement.
You? Hmm.
As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Let's smash it.
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step
Fair
forward
enough.
into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice of bellowing rage roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat. See how you've soured my once divine melody.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good.
She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
Let's continue.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
She clearly remembers what happened last time. As much as you say that we didn't make her into this.
The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Charred corpses.
The princess stands in the center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh.
Oh, she is ready to throw down.
And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
Oh, that's...
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
That's... Oh dear.
It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Kill or be killed. What happened to you?
Time happened. You happened. But none of that matters. We're together again, and I'll have my pound of flesh.
Oh!
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction.
No time for words. Wait for hands!
Squelch. You are unwound.
No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that.
She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality.
You should all just be grateful she's decided to keep us alive. Even in her defilement, she is merciful.
We're not out for the count just yet.
We were pretty, Damn, Cheeto, give my insides back. It's not what I did to you, but you did horrible things to me, too.
But the words don't leave your metaphorical mouth. Instead, all that leaves you is a wet and horrible gurgling as tissue vibrates out of place.
This is unsettling.
Our metaphorical mouth.
I don't think we have one anymore.
You don't have the means to speak anymore, do you? How tragic. It is tragic, though, isn't it? I'm not satisfied dividing fear and indignation from your eyes alone. A quivering mound of flesh is no companion.
She snaps her fingers, and the basic form of a vocal system assembles before you.
Flesh goddess.
Now, little bird, what was it you wanted to tell me?
What's your end game here?
Your defiance robbed me of my end game. You desecrated my divine spirit and plunged me into your realm of flesh. The only thing left for me is your torment.
Just submit already. What is there left for us to do?
Seize control.
Skin flayed and organs flapping, you charge towards the princess.
That's right. She'll never
stubborn.
stop us.
Still you defy your god. I've made the mistake of underestimating your resolve before. Never again.
You swing for her heart. What's left of you explodes. So that's it. It's over, just like that.
Of course it's over. It's been over since the very first moment we laid eyes on her.
Damn fly.
This is the final note of your discordant melody. You will not return again, because you will live in that single tone forever.
No! No! It's not over! We're a god killer! We've returned from death itself twice!
Didn't you hear her? We're not dead.
What's the difference? From many perspectives, there isn't one. But
Yeah.
functionally, that is, from your perspective, the difference is massive. You are entirely laid bare, spread to each corner of the room, yet you are wholly aware of the state you're in. Incapable of movement, but entirely capable of perception. In fact, perceiving your state is the only thing you can currently do. You are preserved, perfectly, in the amber of her torment.
We're more than this. We've lost bodies before. We just have to lose this one and make another.
How are we supposed to lose this one?
No, you're the one who makes things happen, so make it happen.
She's gonna get worse. She gets worse every time we get to a new
You said
cabin.
anything about getting to a new cabin? No, we make something new here.
It won't matter if you do. She'll just pull us apart again.
And preferably, we make something without him.
Fair. Shed this vessel for the next. Ooh, very curious. What happens if we slay?
Your heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
She's entered the world of flesh, so she can just...
Horrifying
Yep,
squelch.
there we go. Very good. Engage.
Skin flayed and organs flapping, you charge towards the princess.
Alright. Can't do anything right now. She's not letting me.
Better than her. You made things happen last time, so make them happen again. I'm with you.
Alright. Shed it for the next.
Absolutely not. I refuse to let you just decide to die with your task unfinished. If you die here, the world is doomed.
But you die. But you do die. There's a great release as you loose your grip on what's left of your flesh and blood. Yet you are still here.
Your Honor, where the hell are you? Are you already at the princess? This
Oh,
place is different. Rotten. Death all around us. I want to go back.
the hunted.
So you've returned already, and I remain here. Is this our final destination?
The princess tilts her head to look at you, and with a gesture, you are unwound. Again? Already?
Clearly I left you with too much room last time. Perhaps this cell will hold you better.
You know what to do.
Alright, stubborn. Die again. Again, you relinquish your body, and again, you find yourself here, but somewhere else.
Ronna, she's gorgeous.
Oh,
Absolutely divine.
You, guy who describes things, you better start saying what we do this time.
guy who describes things.
What are you doing?
Attacking her, obviously.
Right. You charge towards the princess and...
There is no spark in you, only matter devoid of life.
you explode.
Ooh,
Again.
and again. Let yourself go, and you are living once more.
On a path. We are not on a fucking path. I have no idea where we are.
Hello?
We're in the middle of a fight, so act like it.
So you are. Okay, you dive towards the princess and we're unwound. Yes, her head swivels creakily on her neck, fire in her eyes as your body unravels with blinding pain.
No.
Again.
Again. You have no body. You exist. You are reborn.
Ronna,
No time. You narrate now.
yes, of course. Pristine blade grasped firmly in your hands, you fly towards the princess before she can turn to face you. We might actually do it this time.
I can feel that body of yours slicing through the air. How many more times will I have to scatter you?
As she turns towards
Ooh.
you, the very essence of your being begins to flake away. Your muscles, then organs, then nerves laid bare and screaming as the rest of you is stripped of substance. Oh, boo-hoo. It's just a body.
It
Hello.
just needs to last long enough to sink this blade into her heart.
It doesn't last. You are disintegrated. Everything goes dark.
There is no you to die.
How many times do I need to pulverize you before you finally understand? You are nothing. An empty void that dared to dream it was alive.
That feels right.
If we're nothing, then why are we still here?
Because we always have been.
Oh?
If we're nothing, then how can we do anything? The same way we always have. Being nothing has never stopped us. Now end this. End her.
You cannot win if you cannot be.
End this. A force races toward the princess's exposed heart. Threads of texture pulled from an all-encompassing nothing.
How? I've scattered the atoms you clung to and there is nothing there to find. You can't exist.
Threads pierce her heart and cradle her spirit. I realized I wasn't capturing the cursor here. The change here is actually pretty neat. Go from a normal hand to nothing, really.
It's over.
Oh, I think I understand you now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do the things I did to you. I don't think I knew what I was doing.
She sounds genuine. They always do in the end.
Of the cold.
It's cold, but I'm going to be okay, right?
Oh. Quantum beak. Find the means to triumph over an angel scorn. Yeah, the cursor's back to being a hand. Same clawed hand. Do not get a chance to respond. Something has taken her away and has left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It's like it's mocking us.
Oh,
Don't
stubborn?
bother looking for her.
Hello, cold.
I'm sure it's just a waste of time.
Did we banish Broken? The narrator is
Yes.
gone.
Does that mean the world ended? He was never going to outlast us.
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
I kind of like stubborn.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Cold is interesting.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Mirror never scared you
It's
before?
different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Approach the mirror. Silence has reached forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. See the cabin? Oh, hello. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the
Oh.
long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
So before, when we submitted to her, so the form it took before is, Food for thought. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. I know
Let her out of it. That explains the.
there are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Seeing this now makes that line, let her out of there, makes that make a lot more sense. Because it is the princess that we last saw being taken by this multi-armed entity.
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
We'll meet again as stars. Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
A little circle.
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived
How many more do I have to find?
more than you have found. You ask of things that cannot be done.
What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. Everything, until we meet again. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die.